Even though his name may not be as renowned as his younger brothers, Malcolm Young is an irreplaceable figure in the history of AC/DC. In the world of rock and roll, rhythm guitarists often don't get the same praise as their lead guitar counterparts. However, Malcolm's presence in AC/DC proves that this role is just as important. Without a solid rhythm, a rock song lacks its full power. Angus may be the face of AC/DC, but Malcolm is its backbone. Other bands, such as Guns N' Roses with Izzy Stradlin and Aerosmith with Brad Whitford, also demonstrate a similar dynamic. Although often overshadowed, their role in creating the band's sound and identity cannot be underestimated. It's hard not to seem inferior when in a band with Angus Young, the short lead guitarist with a school uniform, explosive energy, and that iconic duck walk. But Malcolm Young had his own way of standing out. Compared to his younger brother's flamboyant style, Malcolm appeared as the steady older sibling, ensuring their musical foundation was solid. His favorite spot was next to the drummer, where he would calmly play his guitar, occasionally glancing at the drummer and bassist to make sure everything was on track. If all was well, Malcolm seemed to be in his own world. With this, AC/DC stood firm and strong. There is a significant difference in how Malcolm and Angus appeared socially before and after AC/DC. Before the rock band was formed, Angus was considered a mere afterthought, especially by Malcolm's friends. However, Angus had a strong mentality and wasn't afraid to socialize with older individuals. In their teenage years, George, Malcolm, Angus, and Harry Vanda formed a band called Marcus Hook Roll Band. This was Malcolm and Angus's professional debut when they released the album Tales of Old Granddaddy in 1973. However, the band later disbanded, and Malcolm and Angus decided to form a new band. While playing music, they also struggled with regular jobs. Angus worked as a cleaner and a semi-pornographic magazine printer, while Malcolm worked as a sewing machine technician in a factory. In 1974, Malcolm and Angus left George's project to form AC/DC. Malcolm had the idea to add another guitar to make their music sound thicker, instead of using keyboards. The choice was clear: Angus. For the younger brother, the choice was simple. Playing rock and roll was obviously more enjoyable than continuing as a cleaner. The death of vocalist Bon Scott in 1980, shortly after the release of Highway to Hell, cast doubt on AC/DC's future. Losing a charismatic vocalist like Bon is often a severe blow for a band, and some can't recover from such a loss. However, they managed to bounce back, proving that the band's driving force was indeed the Young Brothers duo. Brian Johnson was recruited to replace Bon, and they released Back in Black in 1980. This incredible album, recorded in just 7 weeks, became their most successful album. It is often cited as AC/DC's best album and the second best-selling album of all time, with over 50 million copies sold to date. The song Back in Black highlights Malcolm's role as the mastermind behind powerful and memorable riffs. Its intro is even considered one of the best. Additionally, many of Malcolm's riffs, such as in Let There Be Rock, deliver a powerful guitar sound, and Thunderstruck showcases Malcolm's crucial role in providing a foundation for Angus's guitar. Malcolm's presence proved that Angus's guitar playing would feel empty without Malcolm's rhythm foundation. Malcolm rarely missed AC/DC concerts and tours, even at the age of 60. However, his health was not always optimal. In an interview, Angus mentioned that Malcolm had started losing focus since working on the Black Ice album. Despite this, he continued to tour for the Black Ice album until it ended in 2010. Afterward, he received treatment and practiced songs before performances to remember how to play them. In an interview with Guitar Player, Angus said that his brother would keep playing until he could no longer. That time eventually came in April 2014. Malcolm took a break from the band's tour, and by September 2014, it was confirmed that he would not rejoin due to health issues. The Sydney Morning Herald later reported that Malcolm was suffering from dementia and was being cared for in a Sydney health facility. A few days later, the Young family confirmed that Malcolm did indeed have dementia. Yet Malcolm couldn't stay away from music. His family ensured that music was always played beside him, whether it was Chuck Berry or Buddy Holly. Malcolm battled dementia for a long time before passing away on November 18th, 2017, following his brother George, who died on October 22nd. Malcolm's death left many in mourning. Although he was considered less famous than his younger brother, his influence cannot be overlooked. Malcolm left behind an invaluable legacy named AC/DC. His guitar work will always be remembered. His compositions continue to be played by younger generations. Bands like Guns N' Roses and Foo Fighters have paid tribute to Malcolm. As the backbone of AC/DC, Malcolm was the architect behind the riffs that built the band's strong identity. By faithfully holding the rhythm guitar role, he provided a solid foundation for the entire band. Malcolm's calm yet powerful presence inspired future generations of musicians. He demonstrated that every role in a band has its importance, and without any one element, the whole creation would not be complete.